What's up, everybody? Trinity here. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel. It's the morning after New Comic Book Day, and I have got some great indie comic books that we are going to talk about today, as well as some other goodies that I'm going to go and talk about here. But I also want to start this show off by talking about something that I think is kind of like that I should say here before getting into this live stream here, this video, where I am going to start off talking about Merck Magazine. In case you guys don't know, I've done a few videos about these guys, some of the different books that they have been doing through Kickstarter. They have been doing new comic books through your local comic book shop that you can pick up. You can see like Death Rage just came out this week. This is issue number 4 for $4.99. There are 2 covers of this, as well as Born of Blood issue number 2. Now these ones are there's 2 covers of this one as well. Now, they have other series out there that they are putting out that is called Miss Meow. I think that's the only other one that they have as of this point is the 3 titles. If you go check out their Kickstarters, they do have just some other little like tie-ins and crossover events that they have done over there as well. We've been backing them here for about almost going on 2 years now. And I really highly recommend checking out their Kickstarter books. Now, that being said, I do want to talk about these 2 books in particular as far as their Kickstarter is concerned, if you go there and check anything like that out. And there's a huge thing to be said about knowing how to properly run a Kickstarter campaign. As well as making sure that you are servicing your customers and also putting good quality comic books out there. Now, all that being said, I will say that both of these books right here, I did back them on Kickstarter. They have not, I haven't received my copies yet from the campaigns. Now, there is a reason behind that, and they have communicated this well with their customers, with their backers through their projects. Here over, in case you don't know, here over the past couple of years, things have been a little bit shaky, and you know, as far as supplies and things like that, and just overall jobs getting done. But they have been communicating some of that as they've been trying to seek out different printers and just to continuously deliver the quality of books that they do, that we have come to expect from the folks at Merck Magazine. And they kind of hit some snags along the way, fulfilling those campaigns for issue number 2 of Born of Blood and issue number 4 of Death Rage. Now, I will say part of that is, and you know, you may be asking why. You've got these ones right here from your local comic book shop that you picked up. And I will say that while you can go pick these copies up from your local comic book shop, and they're just fine at $4.99 for what you're getting here, the cover stock as well as the paper quality inside is very nice. I would say definitely above, dare I say, industry standard. Dare I say that? Certainly still a very good quality book here. Now, however, the ones that they do through Kickstarter is a little bit different. They do usually typically have a bit more glossy, sometimes heavier, stockier pages and things like that as well. Just some of the stock that they use is different. But also the way things have been going over the last couple of years, like I said, they've run into some issues, and they have let backers know that, and we are well aware of that. They have been keeping us updated with different things like that. As a matter of fact, on the Death Rage one that was kind of behind anyway due to printing to the printers, they actually got in the shipment of them recently, and they were all just in not very good condition. It sounded like they came in from the printers bundled together, much like you would see if you ever worked at like a newspaper place, when you see a bunch of like the ads, or if you work at like a retail place or even like a grocery store, they send all the ads there to you for your store, you know, like the coupons or something like that. They send them all bundled together with the little bundle wrap around them. Like generally you like wrap this way and wrap that way, like all 4 ways, so it doesn't. And that's what it sounded like they came in. It sounded like it was a pretty bad deal, so they had to have the books reprinted. So getting that all out of the way, I will say that they do obviously do this for a reason, because they do have a quality that they want to meet or exceed for their backers. That's absolutely great. They've been communicating that, and I have no problem with that when they are, as long as they are keeping the communications and letting us know, because it is the quality. They want to deliver us a quality book, and I think that's something that is very very good, considering some of the things we've seen out there, some of the stories we've heard out there, some of my own stories from crowdfunding different comic books out there. And I will tell you, go back these guys when they run some campaigns. Very good stuff. But getting into these books, starting off with Born of Blood, issue number 2. I read this already because they sent out the PDF to the backers and everything for this. I think this one's actually getting ready to ship out soon for the backers on Born of Blood 2. But I read this already. I thought this series was pretty good. This issue number 2, very good after what we got in issue number 1. In issue number 1, we seen that we had the princess, Giaris, was being trained to grow up and be a warrior and be just kind of a strong woman for her kingdom, if you will, because she is obviously the daughter of the king. One day, she's going to grow up and probably be a queen, because she's going to go off and marry a king. And you're going to have empires, right? Like you get that kind of stuff, right? You get it. And so we've seen some of her training from when she was old enough to start learning how to train and fight as well. Here in the second issue, we can kind of see where things have gone with that, with her training her out there on the battlefield with her father. And I believe this was the guy who trained her as well to fight. Well, when she gets back from this particular war or this particular battle, she has to go meet with somebody else that she actually trained with before as a child, to learn in the ways of seduction. And that's kind of what takes place in a lot of this issue. And this one is, I wouldn't say it's sexually graphic, but you can definitely tell that there are some people getting it on as she is kind of being trained in this art, if you will. Absolutely great stuff coming out of Born of Blood, issue number 2. I really like this series. Only 2 issues in, and like I would definitely recommend this book. I like it, but again, I am a little bit biased because I told you I like what they've been doing over there at Merck Magazine with the books they have been putting out. Make sure that you go check them out. Make sure you go check with your local comic book shop and tell them to get in these books from Merck Magazine. Tell them to get you Born of Blood, issue number 1 and issue number 2. They can get them. They're there. So, moving on, the next one is Death Rage, issue number 4. Now, this one right here, this character right here, I know, like a lot of people, even when I first kind of read it, it was like, I'm like, it's a little derivative. It seems very much like a Deadpool. You kind of got the wit and the humor and everything there, but the character himself, he's pretty much, I mean, he's a different character than Deadpool, but he seems very derivative of that, right? And that being said, for the first couple of issues of Death Rage, it kind of feel that too, like, yeah, you know, and then, but by the time I'm here reading through issue number 4, I'm like, no, he's definitely different, and I like it. Like by the time I get to this issue, I've kind of grown this appreciation for Death Rage, and this book again is absolutely great. Should definitely worth checking out. Now, I will also say, like with this series, the Death Rage series, and even all these series, since they have really kind of launched these books out there, the writers, like they originally, like the Kickstarter versions of these books, up on these ones they're not, but some of the previous books, the writing and everything, the dialogue in the book was a little bit different. And then when they hit the retail shelves with, like, say, Miss Meow issue number 1, I believe Death Rage issue number 1 was, you know what, I'll have to double check that. Was a little bit different. The interiors, the art, and even some of the dialogue and things like that. The story was still pretty much the same, but the dialogue was a little bit different. And excuse me, that is partially because they brought on some help with the writing and the editing of these books as well. They've got, because like Death Rage here is written by Murphy and Aaron Sparrow. And originally, if I'm not mistaken, it was Murphy, Jamie Tyndall, and Sean. I believe it was Sean Hudchako, who is one of the publishers behind one of the co-creators of Merck Magazine, who was who wrote that book, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was the three of them who kind of got it all together. And here lately they brought on Aaron Sparrow, who definitely has experience in the industry, to help kind of navigate what they're doing, help with the dialogue, and obviously helping with the writing here at this point. And and I believe they also did the same thing with did they do the same thing here with even Born of Blood? They've got Joe Corallo here working with Dolan on this one as well, and he may have been working with him on these since on the Kickstarter versions as well. I definitely have to double check that, but I do know they brought in this extra talent to help kind of add a little bit more quality to these books. Absolutely great stuff out of Merck Magazine. You gotta go check these out when they start getting more Kickstarters out there. I know they just had a Halloween special. They did a swimsuit special. You got to go out there, check out their books. Definitely worth it. The Kickstarter versions have a whole bunch of different covers that you can get. You get a bunch of different covers from like Shikari and Ryan Kincaid and like just a whole bunch of, I think I can't remember if they had RB White too, but they've got a whole bunch of different artists on there with great covers, and they've even got some nudie ones there as well. Yeah, you like your boobies? Go check them out, and definitely worth the money. And they are, like I said, they are some of the better Kickstarters, crowdfunders out there. I would say they are very quickly getting to the point of like the folks over at Coffin Comics, kind of that gold standard of crowdfunding creators. Make sure that you go check them out. Merck Magazine. Tell them I sent you. Tell them your boy Myrtle sent you. Tell them the Myrtle Maniacs sent you. Make sure you check them out. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you have backed any of the books from Merck Magazine, if you have read any of these books from Merck Magazine, Miss Meow, Death Rage, Born of Blood, let me know down in the comments below. Now, before I get into everything else in this video, I do want to say, please make sure that you smash that like button. Share this video out with your friends. Tell them to come hang out with us here. And also, if you do like what you see in this video, consider becoming a channel member, because one of the things I'm getting ready to give away to one of our lucky channel members is Hell Witch vs. Lady Death Wargasm. This is the conclusion of the Deathocalypse story arc that was going on over at Coffin Comics in their Lady Death universe that they've been doing on their crowdfunding books. This is one of the books we have been backing here, that I've been backing with some of the money that I get from the channel memberships, and I do some of the giveaways for some of those books, and this is the next one we're getting ready to give away, and I've got more great books that we are going to be giving away as well. All you got to do to be entered in that is be one of our channel members. So, again, make sure you like the stream, share it out with your friends, tell them to come hang out with us. And before I get into the rest of my comic book reviews, I do also want to give a huge shout out to the Myrtle Maniacs. I also want to show off some of these other goodies that I brought home from my local comic book shop as well. And let me know down in the comments below, what is on your comic book pull list this week? What books did you bring home? Which one was your favorite read? Do you not have a comic book pull list? Did you bring any other goodies home from your local comic book shop? Or what are you reading right now? Let me know down in the comments below, because I'll be reading through some of these, like this thing I got right here I brought home. This is the EC Archives. This is incredible science fiction. This is collecting weird science fantasy issues number 27 through 29, and incredible science fiction issues 30 through 33. So it's got 7 books total in here, and they have been doing an absolutely great job with this series and these books. I like these, just kind of these collections they've been putting together and reprinting. Absolutely great, because a lot of these books, if you try to go and find them in the single issues, you're probably, if you find them, you're probably going to pay some pretty good money for those. And these right here, they've been reprinting. They're only $19.95. It's like $20. It's like $20. It's like $20, and that's not bad. That's not bad. Definitely worth checking out. And you can see it's a pretty nice thick book there as well. Now the other thing I got in, we're probably gonna have to go over this in a members only stream as well. But I got this right here. This is the art of the series. This is Marvel Studios Loki. Picked this up as well. Had this on pre-order, and you know what? My WandaVision, the art of the series never came in. Where's it at, Diamond? Come on. Get it together, chop chop. Or I guess, it's not. Is it? I don't know. I think those ones still come in through Diamond. They might come in through Random House. I don't know. We need to get it. But I picked this up. It's got that's the front cover right there, and then got the back cover here. And I know I posted a picture of this. I think it was J Hood Creative was asking who did the cover art on there, and I wasn't for sure when I looked. When I initially looked, but it's saying on here the afterward and cover art is by Wesley Burt. So I'm guessing that was him that did that cover right there. Pretty cool though. I definitely like the cover. And look, Loki is definitely not my favorite series out there. It's probably probably one of my least favorite Marvel series that they did. But I also think that that doesn't mean that the concept art can't be good. That doesn't mean the concept art can't be good, right? I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Why does this thing look like it's not? There we go. Okay, maybe it's just on my side. Maybe it's just on my side that it looks like it's not one to really focus. Okay, there we go. And so the next one, the other thing I brought home is this right here, this Wolverine Omnibus Volume 2, and you got to take a look at that Barry Windsor Smith cover. Like, I don't even have the Volume 1, but when I seen this solicited, I seen the Barry Windsor cover on there. I'm like, I've got to get it. That's just a great cover. And I put a short up here on the channel showing this off as well. This book is a very thick book, as you can see. This one actually is collecting Wolverine issues number 11 through 30. Havoc and Wolverine, Meltdown 1 through 4. Wolverine, Nick Fury, The Scorpio Connection. Wolverine, The Jungle Adventure. Wolverine, Bloodlust. And material from Marvel Comics Presents numbers 38 through 71. And they've got a bunch of different creators on here, and you can see all the different books that it has in here is pretty much what all those different covers are right there. Absolutely great stuff. As much as, when I was a kid growing up, I read some X-Men books. And obviously there was like X-Men in the animated series, but that was later. Like, I was already a teenager by then. Even though I did watch a lot of that series, but Wolverine was still just always a great character that I always really liked. But what's funny is, like, because I think back, I'm like, man, like, considering you like Wolverine so much, and part of it's the movies too, but also the popularity of the character. Like, I like Wolverine so much, but I think, like, I haven't really read a whole lot of Wolverine comics. I mean, plenty of X-Men, but I haven't really read a whole lot of just Wolverine comics. So I went ahead and picked this thing up. Got to get the Volume 1. But I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about that cover, man. That Barry Windsor Smith cover, man. That is great. That's great, is it not? Is it not? And also, before I get into my new comic book day reviews, I want to talk about what I have been reading aside from these new comic books that have been coming out. I've been, I've got like omnibuses like Wolverine that I haven't read that I've got on the shelf, collecting dust. Well, I mean, kind of. We dust them off, but collecting dust that I need to still need to read through. And so when new comic book day is over and I've read all of my pull list, what have I been reading? Well, here over the past week or so, I've been reading Avengers West Coast right here, or West Coast Avengers. They did eventually. It used to be West Coast Avengers. Then they did eventually change it to Avengers West Coast. But I have been reading through this. This is Volume 2 of the original run. So this, you can see 1986 through 87. And this is basically West Coast Avengers issues number 8 through 24. And then the annual number 1 and Avengers annual number 15. So I've been reading through this, and man, I'm telling you, man, like I read through the Volume 1 of this, and then I went and read some other stuff. I tried to read the She-Hulk Omnibus. That was rough, and I didn't make it all. I don't even know if I made it halfway through that bitch. And This right here, getting through these are fun reads. They're great stories. I absolutely have a lot of fun reading through the West Coast Avengers, at least through these first handful of issues. I'm not sure how the whole series is overall, but I am definitely liking what I see out of this series, with Hawkeye there on the West Coast with his wife. They are out there, Mockingbird, they're running the team. You got Wonder Man there, who they are now casting in the MCU. We'll talk a little bit about some more of that stuff a little bit later. You've also, you got Hank Pym there, you got Tigra, you've got Iron Man there as well. And just some really great stuff. You got Ben Grimm in the story right now. We've had Firebird. Just some really good things going on as this team is kind of just out on the West Coast getting up and running. But let me know down in the comments below if you've ever read some West Coast Avengers. We'll get ready to get into some indie comic book reviews. But first, I want to say hi to everybody here in the chat. Excuse me. I want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Now, before I do that, I am actually I'm going live right now. I'm going live early because, one of the things, like, a lot of times is, like, if you don't see me going live in the morning, it's because I'm out doing my morning bike ride. So I've been doing here lately as I've been getting in more miles. But here over the past few days, like the past week, it's just kind of gotten colder. And the past few days have been really cold and windy. And also with the time changes getting ready to come up, the sun's starting to come up a little bit later. And, one of the things we do is we're kind of, it gets colder. So what do? You stay indoors a little more. You get less hours of sunlight on your skin. And generally, these things lead to, a lowered immune system. You're not as healthy as you could be. So I have been still getting out on rides during the day. But sometimes, like here over the past couple days, it's been absolutely just crazy bonkers wind. And I didn't go riding yesterday. So today we're going to be going for a ride here in a little while, but due to that, so pushing my riding schedule back just a little bit. So what I do in the meantime is I'll wake up in the mornings and do a workout in the studio. And do like a strength training workout or maybe some calisthenics, something like that to get warmed up for the day, because especially here during the wintertime, you want to make sure you're taking care of your health, especially with everything that's going on right now. Like, because what they're going to tell you if you don't. They're going to tell you how you're going to have to. No, I'm not going. But you know what I'm saying. But seriously, do something today. All you got to do is just a little bit. Just a little bit. Wake up in the morning, do a little bit of strength training, go for a walk. If that's what you got to do to warm up, get ready for your day. And make sure you definitely go out and get some sun. Go take a look at the sun. Get some sun on your skin today. Make sure you do that, especially here during the winter, because you're going to get less hours of exposure. I've already noticed it too. Like as soon as the sun started coming up later, and I already noticed that I wake up later automatically. Even though I normally wake up 2 hours before the sun comes up at least anyway. I still wake up later because it's coming up later. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. But, it's just kind of how, getting your body in tune with that stuff. And matter of fact, see, I'm right here drinking my drink before I get ready to go. Yeah, go touch some grass. No, get some sun. Some sun. You can touch some grass too. But if you're going to go walk in some grass. Go walk in some grass. It's good for you. It's good for you. But thank you all so much for being here today. You know what? I need to move my mouse. I need to move my mouse here. And, oh, check this out. Check out this little Mousepad Guy. Oh, look at that. Carly Vanders. Common America. Yeah. Oh, and look, she got her two little friends with her too. Yeah. Black Hops and oh man, what's USGI? Okay, so let's see who all we've got here. We've got some great people here. We've got Jonny on the spot, my man. Reefer Man Reviews, Maverick Pilgrim. Working, thought I'd say what's up. All right, how you doing, Maverick Pilgrim? We've also got StarWarsMCU-OG. Good morning to you as well. Justin Simone, the Star Wars Marvel purist, says, yo. Hope. Here. We've got some chatses in there that didn't come through. There we go, Justin. I got him. You know what? Maybe we need to. Maybe we do this. I think I trust that guy. You know what? I think I trust. Where's that other guy? Is this one? Yeah, I think I could. You could probably trust this guy too. Yeah, we could trust that. We could trust those two guys. Thank you all so much for being here. We got my man Mike Shill Porter. I hope you're doing very well this morning. Andre Oro 24K. Thank you so much for being here, Andre. We got Parker Outdoors. How are you doing? Let's see who else we got here in the building. Anybody else flapping their fingers like I am my gums? Oh, we got Aglax in the building as well. Thank you all so much for being here today. Yes, hope everybody's being toxic today. Yeah. Just I'm so toxic, you can call me Brittany. All right, there we go. We got you, Reefer. Okay, Brittany. I work the print place, so yeah, I get it. Yeah. You going live? It's midnight here. Oh, man, that's funny. Support your local mic shop. Yes, support your local mic shop. Absolutely. Love the art. Born of Blood. Yeah, it's good. Death Rage Comics looks like Fortnite threw up. Yeah, maybe so. Like, I get that. I get where you could get that. But it's a very good series. Trust me, it's a very good one. Let's see. Do y'all get tickets for Wakanda Forever? Not me. I won't be seeing it in theaters. I won't be watching it on Disney Plus. When it comes out on Blu-ray 4K, I'll buy it. I'll buy it and I'll watch it then. I'll watch it then. But that's it. And you know what's funny? Is like, yesterday I posted that on the main gang. They put a post up about the tickets as well. And Stormy got on there and he was like why? I'm like, well, I mean, just like for me, and I said this before, is like when I walked out of Love and Thunder, I knew I wasn't gonna go see this movie in the theater. I'm like, I'm just sticking to my guns. It's not about a boycott. It's not about hoping the movie does terrible or anything like that. Though it's probably a good thing if it does. But it's not about anything like that. I don't have any hate for the movie. What it is the fact that I watched Thor: Love and Thunder. I walk out of that movie theater and I look like E-Man did when he walked out of Wakanda Forever. Like somebody just walked up and fucking bitch slapped me right across the fucking face, and I didn't do anything about it. Like I was Chris Rock. But I was probably less dignified than Chris Rock. Because I got slapped across the fucking face. And I just walked out of there just like. Like that shit hurt. I wasn't Chris Rock. I didn't shake it off. Because I watched this movie and I'm like at this point, you've made Thor completely 100% fucking parody. This character is a parody of himself, and it's not funny. If you don't want to take your characters seriously, I'm not going to take your characters seriously, and I'm not going to pay to go watch this shit. And then, we got Wakanda Forever coming out, and we got, it's like they keep calling it Wakanda Forever. They're not calling it Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You know why? Because it's supposed to be a Black Panther film. If you're going to make a Black Panther fucking film and you don't have Black Panther in it, I can't say that you're taking the character very seriously. And it's not like I'm hardcore, like, recast T'Challa. Like, no, you just need to recast. It's just that simple. Just recast. So it's not like I'm boycotting because of the casting. Nah. It's not that at all. It's just take the character seriously. You need the fucking character in the movie. And I'm like, when you take character seriously, I'll go ahead and support it. I can't this one. I just can't this one. But then of course they dropped Ant-Man, and I'm at that one, man. I'm not missing that one because Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, that's one of my favorite characters in the MCU. Anyway, yeah, I know I'm such a pushover. That one I will be seeing in the movie theater, probably 10 fucking times. But the thing is, with the Wakanda Forever one, I'm not gonna not watch it. I will watch it, but I'm not gonna go pay to see it at the theater. I'm not gonna go on opening night and pay for fucking 10 plus tickets for me and my friends and my family to all go see it like I do every other fucking time. No. Plus the other times I go see it after that and take my kids and take my wife, and because sometimes she's not usually there with us on Thursdays, and then taking going on Sundays with her, and then me maybe going to see it on Saturday again with one of my friends, just spending all this money on going to, like, no. You're not getting my $100 plus $200 for this movie. I'm not paying for Disney Plus anymore for fucking shows. Like, you know, like when the show comes out, I'll get it for that month and I'll watch it. And, you know, like the Chillmonger model on that one. But other than that, there's nothing on Disney Plus that I need to pay for. What am I paying? Because when and that's the thing, is like when I originally signed up, I paid for that 3-year plan and it's getting ready to be up. And I'm like, I'm not paying their fucking monthly thing and whatever. If they're going to do the ad thing, whatever. I'm not paying that every month. I'm like, most of the shit I watch on there, I own the fucking movies. Like most of these shows, I've seen them, and that's all I really needed. Like I've already seen them. There's nothing else to take out of them that I haven't already taken out of them. So I'm not gonna give them the money every single month either for, you know, a yearly subscription. When I just, you know what, $25, I go buy the fucking Blu-ray, and I'm gonna watch it as many times as I want, and they get my money one time. One time for the price that I could pay to take me and one of my kids to see this movie. I'm gonna be able to watch it limitless times. And instead, you know what I'm gonna spend all that money on? I'm gonna spend it buying fucking West Coast Avengers books and maybe even Wolverine Omnibuses. I don't know. Might use it to buy a new some new bike gear. Might use it to buy some new bike gear. Speaking of which, that's where all the super chat money is going to. If you want to support a cyclist on his journey on the saddle, send your hard-earned dollars into the little dollar sign right there by the little, yeah, right there. Thank you all so much. I greatly appreciate it. But that's why I'm not. Yeah, I don't got tickets. I don't got tickets. Not going to see it. Not going to go see it. But if if you're hyped to go see it, you ready to go see it? Absolutely. And believe me, I want to go see it just for some of the stuff that's probably in the movie, so I can watch the movie and get some theories and stuff out of it, because there's a whole lot of shit that I think is going on here. But I'm not that worried about it. I can watch Kevin's spoilers. I can watch heavy spoilers, right? I can watch Paul break this shit down and be like, that's all I really need. That's all I need. Although, I will say that there's probably plenty of shit that they're missing that I'm looking at that they're not. We all know about my theories with the Emerald Tablet and all that. I'm telling you. If you think I'm wrong, you're wrong. You're wrong, bro. I don't like my boobies. No, I like other boobies. Yeah. Agreed. Oh man, smash that like button, folks. Tell your friends to come hang out. We got 10 people here. It's been long for Andre and Parker. I know, yeah. No, you know, I seen Parker the other day. Where did I see Parker? I know I seen him in a live stream the other day. He was chilling. But yeah, it did seem like it's been a while. Okay, make sure you hit that like button. There's still a few of you that didn't hit that like button. You son of a bitch. Hit the like button. You can hit the dislike too, but it doesn't say I got any dislikes. They're supposed to tell me, but they never tell me. La Muerta was sick. Yeah. You like that? I haven't read it yet, Reefer. I haven't read it yet. I'll be reading the last 2 weeks worth of books this weekend. Right now, I've been reading through my collection of Ultimate X-Men and Ultimate Spider-Man. The first runs. Okay, nice. I think they're coming out with an omnibus of that later here pretty soon. Of like the Ultimate, I think like the Ultimate Universe. Currently, I'm reading the back of a Pop-Tart box. Yeah, put down the Pop-Tarts. I had the Wolverine Havoc Meltdown graphic novel. Came with the over 1,000 books I got from a closing antique store. Best $100 I ever spent. Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Good shit. I got a couple of those Marvel Presents and some issues before that Omnibus, I believe. That's awesome cover. Yeah, the Barry. Yeah, you gotta love that Barry Windsor Smith. Gotta love it. Yeah. The cover of the Wolverine book was a cover of a Marvel Comics Presents Weapon X issue. Yeah. I used to have it, but no more. No more! Yeah. Those antique stores have some hidden gems for sure. Yeah, Christopher Walken for Wolverine. You know what? I like it. I could see Christopher Walken out there all doing his little dance and everything. Shoot! Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. What do y'all think of a Vision show? Vision show, man. I can't wait to see it. I like Vision. Vision's good. It's going to be good. By the time I found out the car was sold, this bookstore, I'm like, oh no! Yeah, of course they don't know where they went. Yeah. Vision show. Can we get Tiger in the MCU? We need it. We need Tiger in the MCU. Yes, we do. I might turn into one of those furries. I might turn into a furry when they get Tiger in the MCU. I might be a furry. I used to see me on No. Yeah, man. I'll fucking turn into a furry. They put fucking Tiger on screen the way they need to. Yeah. What do you call a cold? I don't know. What are you talking about? I thought it was a dad joke. Trinity wakes up, grabs a brush, and puts on a little makeup. Yeah. Everyone gonna get comments again. Let's shut everything down and ruin everyone's life. Yeah, right? Touch some grass. Oh man, it skipped on me. Yeah, touch some grass or weed. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got some Mac #1 right now. I got some of that Mac #1. Yeah. Have to. Yeah. Anyway. Oh man, yeah, get some sun, absolutely. Remember to get your cock push-up in every day. Shout out to my health guru, Jack Black. Absolutely. You gotta get them, dick pumps in, man. Yeah, your long boxes stolen. Dude, that sucked. Yeah, some CDs too. Yeah. My comic collection. I mean, it's not too, it's not too outrageous. Matter of fact, it's probably going to go down some. Some of it's probably going to be going down soon. Probably going to get rid of some stuff. And a lot of them are indies. So, like, it's not like somebody's going to, like, people are chomping at the bit to try to get them either. So, but I'll probably end up getting rid of some here soon. Dude, someone, Roger Reefer, what the, yeah, pretty much. Most of the comments that were in my trunk of the car were my cousins and not even mine. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, comics. Yeah, I got you. Eric the Guapo, thank you so much for being here. Hope everything's going well. Oh shit, not take. Oh yeah, hot takes. Less dignified. Did you cry? No. But believe me, I walked out of Love and Thunder. I wanted to cry. I wish I could have cried. I'm telling you. Fucking Chris Rock, man. It's Chris Rock. James Jimenez, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing very well today. Am I blue? Nope, not today. Yeah, Wakanda Forever without its king and Namor without Namor. Yeah, right? They're going to recast the Black Panther supposedly. Eventually. I'm sure eventually they will. That was said Thor 4 would be where I drew my line in the sand, just like Kenobi. That was a peak of apathy for me. Yeah. Dude, and tell me, Justin, have you been watching Andor? I think until like the last week, I didn't was it last week's episode? I didn't finish. And you all know, y'all, like, I kind of got paid to watch it, man. It was rough, dude. That was rough. Yeah. Thor: Love and Thunder was hilarious, heartfelt triumph. Was more for hardcore fans familiar with the character. Yeah, absolutely, Aglax, absolutely. He's not anymore. He's Namor. Yeah. And friends call him Coco for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah. Those hardcore. Oh man. Yes. Oh yeah. The books. Absolutely. Okay. Some people think it would be cool to act in movies. Some people think it would be cool to direct movies, and some people think it would be cool just to give weird producer notes like you have to recast. Well, they're going to. So like, it's okay. It's okay to be wrong, Aglax. It's okay. We're not gonna think less of you for it. Support Trent's balls, absolutely. Did you hear Trinity's going to save the MCU? Yeah, absolutely. And DoorDash, all right, have a good one, Reefer. All right, the Emerald Tablet is real. Yes, Leslie Jones as Christopher Walken. Oh, I can see that. Her sitting there all. Anyway, yeah, no, we're not doing that shit again. Yeah, that works. Quentin Time Podcast, thank you so much for being here. One of our newest Myrtle Maniacs, along with Jedi Mike. Look at them badges. Okay, I didn't watch Andor, Ms. Marvel, or She-Hulk. Like, you know what? Like I'll tell you, man. Like I've talked about it. I think Ms. Marvel's the best show that they've done. My favorite is still WandaVision, but I think Ms. Marvel's the best one that they've done. I think it's the best show they've done, and just for critical reasons, like. The show knew what it was. It did what it was supposed to do the whole time. Like, they took it a little heavy on some of, like, the culture kind of stuff and whatnot. But, like, the movie for what it was and what it was supposed to be doing, I think the show was absolutely great. And, like, it hit the ground running, and it kept just doing what it does. But I get it if you don't care about it, like, the character and all that stuff, too. Just like Al, over at the main gang, like, he's like, man, I'm not watching this bullshit. Like, I get it. But to me, I think it's the best one that they've done. Quality wise and everything, like the worst thing about it is the stupid purple glowy powers that she has. It looks very Nickelodeon, but the rest of the show was very good. Yeah, very good. Yeah. But that's the thing about the show too, is because it was very kind of Nickelodeon too in the first place, but a little bit better. It was like Nickelodeon with some MCU flavor to it, definitely. But yeah, I watched the premiere night for Andor and She-Hulk. Yeah, She-Hulk was like, I don't even think She-Hulk was like terrible. It was just yeah. It's just like I feel like about most TV shows though. Can't even bring myself to watch YouTubers review any of those shit shows. Yeah, I hear you. WandaVision, my favorite show too. Inside the Hex, at least. Yeah, absolutely. Very good stuff. But you know what, guys? We need to get into some indie comic book reviews. I'm going to talk about some of these as I take another drink from this. Take another drink of this pre-workout before I get ready to go for a bike ride. Sun should be out already. Should be warming up out there. I'm going to put on my gear and go for a bike ride. It is a little bit windy today, but it doesn't look like it's as windy as yesterday. Like yesterday, it was like 20 plus miles an hour. And that's like somewhat normal for here. But it was cold too. There's like I said, sometimes combining the elements just isn't that great. Okay. So, let's start right off here with starting off with my indie comic book Starting right off with my indie comic book reviews this week. First one we've got is Blaze Publishing's Belit and Valeria Sword and Sorcery. This is issue number 5. Now, I'll tell you, I didn't get a chance to read this book because I don't want to read this book because I read the first couple of issues and I just really didn't like it. Wasn't into it. It just wasn't for me. But I will tell you, the art in this book is absolutely great in this book. You can just open it up and see, just taking a look at some of this art right off the bat. The art in this book is phenomenal. I wish I'd seen a lot more comic books with this kind of art in it. Just absolutely great stuff. But like the writing, I was just like, yeah, the characters like, yeah, just really wasn't into it. But I just bought this one mostly because of that John Royale cover. Look at that cover, man. That is a sick cover. I absolutely love it. John Royale, one of the best out there, man, doing some of these covers, man. I absolutely love it. So I had to pick that one up. Let me know if you've read Belit and Valeria, what you thought about it, if you did read it, down in the comments below. And I'll talk about Aftershock Comics Astronaut Down. This is issue number 4, coming to us from writer James Patrick. This has art from, oh man, come on pages, work with me. Dang it, there we go. Dang it, still didn't get it. This has art from Rubine, colors by Valentina Brisky, and lettered by Carlos M. Manguel. I'll show you those names right there. And I will tell you that this book right here, it's not terrible. Like, it's an okay book. Like, some of the stuff, like the concept in itself, what's going on here, could be pretty cool. Like, there's kind of this ecological terror going on outside. These people are kind of basically shut in these domes at this point in these cities because of like this chemical thing, like global warming, like has pretty much destroyed the earth, and they are basically all confined to these cities as this kind of thing is out there threatening them, and it's breaking down their barriers that they have. So what they've done is they've got this technology. They're taking what they call astronauts to send their minds to different realities to find out the answer to this algorithm, the cure for this particular thing that's going on. And we see like the guy's going back in time, and he's kind of skipping back in time, and he overshot his destination, and his mind's not right, and he's trying to adjust to everything as he's there, you know, the disorientation and everything, and just coming across some pretty crazy stuff. I mean, it feels kind of like, say Total Recall meets, I don't know, maybe like a Quantum Leap, kind of like, I don't know. It's been so long since I watched Quantum Leap, but I know some people out there absolutely love it. Anyway, point being, I used to watch it when I was a kid. Point being is like it's got a cool concept, but you get in here, you get into the writing, and there's just something that I'm so tired of seeing in comic books, and that is the whole fucking pandemic shtick. I'm tired of everything having to deal with like the pandemic. Like, this is a very fucking lazy allegory, and like I almost can't even say it's like an allegory. It's like it's the pandemic. This is you might as well have just made the book and just not even had anything going on. You might as well have just made the book and just called it go get the shot, or the COVID, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. It's like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I read a book like this, I'm like, oh, it's so 2020. Get over it. Get the fuck over it. Which I've got, there's another comic book I've got to talk about that I could go on about that as well. But other than that, like, the story has a kind of cool concept, but you get into the writing and some of the dialogue and everything, and it's just like, oh, okay, so you're basically just like, this is basically about it's a vaccine story. It's a vaccine story. I don't know, but let me know down in the comments below if you've read Astronaut Down and what you think about it, and I'll talk about this one right here. Dogs of London, issue number 5, Peter Milligan writing this one here. It's got art by Artisita, and it's got colors by Valentina Biancani and lettered by Rob Steen. I'll show you those names right there. And I will tell you, like, generally, I like Peter Milligan's writing. Peter Milligan has done a couple of books here on Aftershock Comics. He's done several. He's done a couple with AWA Upshot, and he's done a couple with even Vault Comics as well. Some of my more favorite indie comic book publishers out there he's done work for, and I generally like his work. And this one right here, it's a little bit different than a lot of the books that he's done. And this one, I will say, I don't necessarily like it as much as I do a lot of his other works, where this one really kind of seems like, it almost seems like a Bronx Story meets Sleepers meets I don't know, some sort of Hydra experiments where they are dealing with trying to create not even necessarily super soldiers, but something's going on here with them. I don't know, but these kids when they were younger, they kind of all ran together. They were known as the Dogs of London, and it was just kind of this group of rowdy teenagers, and they went out and got in fights, just doing what rowdy teenagers would do. Well, eventually they kind of got caught up in this thing. They got caught in this boys' home and were experimented on and kind of given these supernatural powers. This guy, a lot of them had died. The one of them had lived to be older, and now they are all coming after him because he's still alive and they're all dead. Altogether, I don't know. The book is okay. The book is okay. I just think there's some things I feel like maybe they're missing in the story. Maybe I need to go back and read some of it. But like by the time we get to the conclusion here, I'm kind of like, okay, like okay. I just feel like there's a little bit more potatoes than there is meat here, and it's not bad. I just feel at the end of this kind of like, okay, well, that happened. Not terrible, not bad, just not used to, I guess, some of the good writing or some of the great stuff that I'm used to from Peter Milligan. But again, I don't dislike it. There wasn't anything in here throughout this series that I thought was terrible. Well, although there was one silly thing, like, and it is a Peter Milligan story anyway, but the one of the guys who was kind of the leader of the pack who was out for vengeance, of course, he was such a bad guy because he had repressed homosexual tendencies. And, he made a move on one of his friends, the guy that ended up living to be old, who said, "Yo, bro, what the fuck are you doing, man?" Maybe that's what the story was all about. I don't know. Like I said, it wasn't terrible. But again, just not kind of like the quality that I'm used to from Peter Milligan. Like his stories are usually a little bit more fleshed out and feel a little bit more complete at the end. This one I just kind of felt like, okay. But let me know down in the comments below if you have read Dogs of London and what you think about it. And I'll talk about this next one on Dark Horse Comics Quick Stops, issue number 1. And I'll be quite honest with you. Oh, anecdotes from the annals of the View Askew-niverse. From the Askew-niverse. This one right here, I honestly didn't realize I had this on my comic book pull list. I was sitting there when they said I pulled it. I'm like, really? I can't imagine at this point that I did, but I'll get it anyway and see how it is. Plus, it's got that, that kind of classic, cover, Blunt Man and Chronic on there. And getting in here, it's, we see Holden McNeil and Alyssa Jones in a Comic-Con panel where they're getting ready to, make a Blunt Man and Chronic movie or something right here. They're kind of bringing up the Quick Stop, bringing up Banky, and bringing up everything. Kind of bringing up all this stuff, as well as interactions with Jay and Silent Bob here. You can see it's all done in black and white. I don't know, this book wasn't completely terrible, but it just seems at this point like a lot of a lot of this stuff feels like you've already seen it before. I wouldn't even say it's like recycled humor. It's just like recycled stuff that he's already done. And I don't know. The book was okay. It wasn't terrible. It was all right. Probably not worth the $3.99, but it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below if you read Quick Stops, what you think about it. I just think, for me, I think some of it's just even with some of the crude humor and stuff that you see in here, because it's written by Kevin Smith, he's just kind of lost that edge of his comedy to it. It's just not there anymore. He can't do it like he used to do it, and he can't even really do a lot of the new age humor. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I'll show off this cover from this next book on Opus Comics. This is Bill and Ted Presents Death. Yes, that's right. Death finally got his own series. We've got it right here. And this one, I didn't even get a chance to read. I've been picking up the Bill and Ted books, and I picked this one up. They had it there, and it was actually, if you look at it, it was actually cost $6.66. Yeah, the price on it. went ahead and picked it up. I didn't get a chance to read this one either, but it looks like it's just kind of telling a little bit of a story of death, right? Let me know down in the comments below if you've read it and what you think about it. And I'll talk about this last book that I have here, which is on Vault Comics, and this is Heart Eyes, issue number 3. This book right here being written by Dennis Hopeless Hallam. It's got art by Victor Ibanez. KJ Diaz is the color. Simon Boland is on letters. This one right here, you guys know, I absolutely love Vault Comics. A lot of the books they put out there, what they are doing. They just put out some great books, and this book is no different, where we're seeing this girl Lupe, who's kind of walking around in this post-apocalyptic world in which like these monsters have come along and pretty much killing everybody, eating everything inside, just kind of destroying the world. And she is actually friendly with them. They follow her. They're kind of like her pets and maybe even her protectors here. And here we get a little bit of a story too, interesting in this one, where we see like she actually met up with this lady who saw all the demons and wasn't scared of them or anything either, because we see that Lupe's been going around like, hey, don't be scared and it'll be all good. This lady's not scared of him either, and she's sitting there, you know, taking like some medication, like, they always said I was crazy and everything. Like, I see these monsters, that's not even the craziest shit I seen. And so we kind of see some of that, but we also see there's been somebody out there who has been observing Lupe as well from afar. So the story getting a little bit deeper here in this book. I'm not sure how many issues this series is going to be. My guess is it's going to be one of those ones where Vault Comics does maybe 8 issues, maybe 10, maybe 12. I don't know. For this series, or if it's going to be an ongoing. I can't imagine it being too long, but I also can as well, because this story has been pretty good. I like the art in this book as well. Definitely some great stuff coming out of Vault Comics. You guys know, one of my favorite publishers out there. But let me know down in the comments below if you have read Heart Eyes and what you think about it. Let me know down in the comments below. And we'll get into some live chats. See what everybody's talking about. Okay. Where are we at? WandaVision, my favorite too. Inside. Oh, okay. Yeah, we went through there. Okay. Therein lies the problem. All this production quality for Ms. Marvel and Andor, and not for Thor, Kenobi, etc. Yeah. Aglax. Loud crying noise. Thor is a parody now. Jack Kirby looks up, smiling from drawing a parody of a real god he's doing a more goofy version of. Make a tier list about the MCU shows. Yeah, I've been meaning to, Andre, and I need to. You're right. Yeah, you're right. I need to. I do. I've been meaning to also, because like what, and that's the thing is I actually wanted to do a couple of different tier lists. I wanted to do one of like my favorites. Maybe it would just be the same video. Like my tier list of like my favorites, how I rank them as far as like I like them as far as my favorites. And then maybe a tier list of ones that I think like the quality of them. Because I think when we're looking at it, getting into the quality of the shows and the MCU overall, what I like kind of expect, would expect out of these things being tied to the MCU. I think where shows like Hawkeye, Moon Knight, and I would even say Ms. Marvel definitely excel in, that shows like Loki and WandaVision, and I think even Falcon and Winter Soldier for the most part really fail at, is that like quality look. They don't look like cinematic quality like something I would see or expect in a movie. They look very low budget, especially Loki. It looks terrible. And WandaVision, WandaVision, they almost have an excuse. But even the quality of some of that is like, and Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, just like some of that quality is just like, oh man, like I don't know. And what if, like I said, there's different things I look at, like looking at the critical eye and also looking at what I like, what I prefer. what I prefer. And it's hard because, like I said, Ms. Marvel is one of those ones that falls in there. We're like, man, I think the quality of this show and everything that this show does, it's the best. I think it's the best one that they've done. Underneath that is probably Hawkeye, and then maybe Moon Knight, as far as like cinematics, looking like cinematic quality, and just like kind of. But they also fail in some of the other things. Like Hawkeye, I thought done really good, and I think Ms. Marvel did good with it as well. But just like some of the like I said, some of the things like that I would criticize the shows and rank them differently than I would my favorite shows of them. Though the list might be close to the same as well. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. 38 degrees feels like biking on the moon. It probably does. It probably does. Yeah. And yeah, I was saying it's yeah. Obviously, they're going to recast. They're setting up Panther's Return in Secret Wars. Am I the only one that reads this crap? Oh yeah, yeah. Of course they're going to recast. Of course they're going to. Yeah? Could have just recast and not ever had to explain shit. Could have just recast the character and be like, hey, here's the next Black Panther movie. It's that simple. It's that simple. Okay. Joints for Jams. Damn, I was hoping Dogs of London was part of the Samurai Doggy universe. I know, right? It was the dogs on the cover that did it, huh? Oh, that shit is bong! Snoochie Boochies. And it's in black and white. Awesome. The interior looks good, but bored teenager drawing on his notebook art style on the cover of... Wait, the interior looks good, but bored teenager drawing on his notebook art style on the cover of Heart Eyes is my least favorite style of art. Oh, you mean that cover? Yeah. This was just the cover that they got in at my Elsa. Like, they must have been shorted on this one because I've been ordering both covers as this has been coming in. As this series has been coming out. But this was the only one that came in at the LCS. Like I said, I think they just got shorted some books. Yeah, I don't know. This definitely isn't one of the better covers at all. But I was gonna say the art inside the book, it's great. The art inside the book's great. Going deep in the vault, yeah. So what comic story are you most hyped about reading now? As far as what? As far as new indie comic books, or like some of the comic books that I'm reading like outside of that, like I said earlier, I've been reading through West Coast Avengers. Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? But I think, like one of the ones I've really been liking, Gun Honey. Been absolutely great series. I think there's only 2 issues left in that series. Loving it. Obviously, End After End came out yesterday as well, but at my LCS, they must have been shorter because End After End didn't come in, so I didn't get to read it. But End After End, I've been liking that one. What else? Oh, you know what? I'll be honest with you. Lovesick. I read Lovesick last week from Luana Vecchio. Dude, Lovesick is fucking sick. I love Lovesick. I thought that book was great. I thought that was a book. And but the thing is, like, I know it's one of those books that like a lot of people probably read like, I want this, because I've seen people kind of doing the same thing over. God, what was that book? 3 Keys. I did like a little short on that one. I thought 3 Keys was a pretty good book, but of course, there's like these comic geeks that are out there that are all pissed off, like, oh, they're in this book and they're talking about comic nerds and making fun of comic geeks and people that read comics. She works in a comic shop and there's a comic. What are you doing, making fun of your customers? Like, bro, I didn't think it was that deep, man. I read the comic book and I'm like, they're just being a bunch of fucking prudes. That's it. Like, they're just like some fucking nerd prudes. That's it. I don't know. And then like you get into Lovesick, And what it is like this chick, she's like a dominatrix, and she's got these other fucking like trainees, if you will. So they're basically doing these underground snuff fucking streams and shit on the dark web, where they're getting and meeting with incels. They're getting these incels and bringing them and torturing them and killing them, and and I know, like I said, I'm sure people are upset because they're talking about incels and blah blah blah. Like I thought the book was good. The book was good. You see these guys who kind of have this supposedly have this hate boner for this chick who's this streamer, I guess, essentially, and she goes through and kind of tortures them and everything, and she's all dressed all like a dominatrix, and she looks all like like hot and shit, and she all like going crazy. I'm like, I don't know, man. I thought the book was pretty good. But like, I also get like where some people may not like that. Maybe they feel like, oh, they're incels. They're just they're talking about incels. They're obviously talking about me because I'm a dude who gets all mad about this and that and blah blah blah. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like sometimes I don't know people's fucking logic when it comes to shit. Sometimes I don't know people's logic. If you could tell me what people's logic is, sometimes and I think sometimes there's no logic. There's no logic. They just see something like, and I get it. Believe me, there's plenty of things I see too that I get over to when I see them. I get that way. And the thing is, like, it's nothing unusual. Like, you have these things you like, and sometimes maybe it changes, or maybe there's something you don't like in a particular thing, and it's just upsetting to you. That's okay. We see it all the time. Where's it at? Where's Lovesick? Here's Lovesick. Here, piggy. This is Lovesick right here. And the thing is, like I said, I got into this book mostly because was on Bolero. It came out a while back. Luana Vecchio did the art on it. Fucking love this art, man. The art style, love it. Love this whole art style to it. Right? I love it. I read this, I'm reading this book, and I'm reading through this book, and you know what? I'm sitting here reading. I'm like, you know what? I need the Soska sisters to get out there and direct this fucking movie. Like, only after one, like that's what I need. That's what I need. I need the Soska sisters to pick up this book, give it a read, and fucking direct this goddamn movie. Yeah, I don't know. Just if you ask me. That's just if you ask me. But I get it. Like I said, it's not everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. Not everything's for everybody. But yeah. Well, there was something else I was going to talk about too. Yeah. Yes. About these things that we all love. We get these kind of attachments to them, you like Wonder Man, in the comics. And next thing you know, they do a casting, and you're like, oh man, come on, man. Can't Yahya Abdul-Mateen be cast as somebody else? Like, can't you get him to be fucking Blue Marvel? Shit. Can't you get him to be T'Challa? Just other roles that would be perfect, And then naturally, what comes out of this is people acting like it's no big deal. And then here's the thing, like, when it comes, to the movies and everything, they do these race swaps or gender swaps or whatnot, yeah. Marvel. Anyway. The thing is, people are like, oh, come on, man. Like, how could you do this? This isn't fucking Simon Williams. When you go through here and you look at fucking Simon Williams, what does Simon Williams look like? What does he look like? I don't know about you, but that shit don't look like no fucking Yahya Abdul-Mateen to me. But people act like just because I would say something like that, like it's like, oh, you must hate black people and this and that. You don't like representation, diversity, and blah, 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 blah. No, it's not that at all. It's not that at all. And the other thing is, like, people always downplay this stuff too. People downplay this stuff too. And the thing is, like, you can't really downplay any of it because everybody has their thing that they like. And when it gets changed, yeah, some people, you know, like, oh, I don't like this, but like, I'll just go along. I'll go along with it. I won't upset anybody for not liking it myself. You can go, you know, like, it's not like, you can go ahead and not like it. It's perfectly fine. And the thing is, but everybody acts like, you know, like, whatever character it is, like, it's like nobody really cares about it. And I see so many people, like, it's such the fucking argument, these bullshit arguments that everybody makes out there. This character isn't even that popular. What's the big deal? Anybody who says they like Wonder Man is lying. Yeah. Somebody really likes Wonder Man as a character. Yeah. Like, there is. There is people like that. A lot of these characters who have been around for a long time, and I honestly don't even care if it's been like years. It could be like 5 years. If this character's been around for 5 years, there's people out there that probably like this character, and if you go and change them, they're not gonna like it. They're not gonna like it. And you're still gonna have people like, there can't be anybody that's that big a fan. They've only had him out for 5 years. Like, that's like, simply, that's just like it's absurd to me. It's absurd. And just because they change the character doesn't mean that everybody's gonna hate it, doesn't mean it's automatically hate. And just because they even race swap this character doesn't mean that everybody's just gonna hate it. But a lot of people may not like the casting. They may not like what's going on here because of that. And then you're gonna get these fucking big brain people out there who are like, well, you know, somewhere out there in the Marvel universe, Wonder Man was black. Yeah. Wonder Man was black. How you feel about that? You can't be very upset now because they did it in the comics, so you're a bigot now, huh? You feel like a bigot? You should. You should feel like a bigot. He's been black in the comics, they did in the comics. Man.
Who the fuck are you, man?
You know? And look, you could go on and on about this all day. I think most people that are upset about Wonder Man, it's not because he's black. It's not because they hate black people. It's not about that. It's about the fact that the character is white. You know, and I know people always like to turn around to like, well, yeah, how would you feel if they made Black Panther white? Like, okay, like, it's like the whole point is like, it's a non-fucking argument. The thing is like, it shouldn't even, like, it should, like, look, you know Wonder Man is this is Wonder Man. You can do the multiverse thing. Oh, it's a multiverse. The thing is it's all bullshit. It all comes down to the same thing. There's this main character that everybody knows. The character that this character is. And give a fuck about the multiverse or whatever. But just because somebody don't like it doesn't make them a fucking bigot. It's because we want to see this. And I would honestly see Yahya Abdul-Mateen play a fucking role that he's probably way better suited to do, and probably a much more captivating character. Probably a much more captivating character that you could get him cast as. But people go and, you know, and they do this fucking whole dime store psychology bullshit that they do every single time with all this bullshit, trying to fucking reason with everything. And then, like, you know what? Sometimes it just comes down to, this character was this in the comic books. This is what I kind of know and expect. And that's just how, you know, what it is. You know, you can do the race swap, you can do the gender swap, and, you know, I'll watch it, see how it is. You know, maybe I'll like it. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I think, I swear, if they would have done, like, say when Captain America, the first Avenger came out, and if they didn't have Chris Evans in there, but say they had fucking, say they got Romany Malco to be fucking Captain America instead back in the day, you think people would have been upset? You think people would have been out there like, oh, well, the character's been black in the comics. They wouldn't be upset because the guy's black. It's not about that. They're upset because you look in the comic books and what is Steve Rogers? And don't give me the bullshit. Well, Sam Wilson, he's fucking Falcon. Right? But the thing is I've seen these arguments going on. You see them going on all the time for all these things. There's obviously the whole preconceived thing. Oh, if you cast a black character in the show, it doesn't matter if the character's an original character or not. It's not always about, it's not that. You do get people out there. Are there plenty of people out there who probably don't like black people and seeing them in roles? Yeah, sure. I'm sure there are. But I think for the most part, people just want the character to be what they were in the comic books. But then again, you get on, like I said, you get on the internet, and you see everybody always going on and on about this. And, obviously, every time this happens, people, they're on one side of the argument or the other. And you're either on one, like, you can't be, you can't just kind of be a rational person about it. You got to be a bigot. Or you got to be the accepting, tolerant one. And I've seen this, and it goes on all the time. It goes on all the time with a lot of these things. But I've seen some particular posts, where people are going into this whole Wonder Man thing. And again, this comes down to, once again, all this whole dime store psychology bullshit that everybody likes to talk about. Where, acting like that everybody that don't like this casting is some sort of racist or they're a bigot or something. Like, no, it's not that deep. It's not that deep, bro. And for you to even think that it is ridiculous. And to even, like I said, the whole conversation is ridiculous a lot of times. But then seeing how people act out and the way they express this a lot of times is absolutely hilarious. Because I've seen this interaction on the tweeters where there's this person that thinks there's some sort of fucking psychologist or therapist in some sort of fucking manner. Making this remark about the Wonder Man casting and stuff like that. And going on, and here's the thing, he's like, oh, all these people are so unhinged and crazy, talking about all this racist stuff and all this blah, 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 all over the casting of this character. And you see, and the thing is, like, you see people like, no, like, but you see this person, they make this initial comment, and it's like, bro, like, what you're gonna call people bigots and shit about, like, that's not what it is. Like, you're using, once again, your dime store psychology about thinking that it's bigots, like, oh, they're trying to make you look like bigots again. And it's like, no. That's not what it is, but I'm sure your dumb ass thinks that. And it's not that at all. And, like I said, people try to go in and psychoanalyze these kinds of things and see what people are thinking. And it's like, you're ultimately wrong. You're saying that people are upset about this or that for these particular reasons, but then you go in and you see, like, a lot of the comments, like, it's not really that. And then, you're sitting there talking about how all these people are disturbed and need to move on and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, all day, you're on your Twitter going off about it, calling people names, acting like they're this or that, whatever ism or anything that you want to label them, because of this. And again, with your dime store psychology that's fucking typically wrong and ass backwards anyway. And then you're acting like it's the other people. That's not how it works. You can, like, and I won't even say, like, oh, you're gaslighting. I'm like, no, like, you're just full of shit and you, like, really have no clue. You can use the whole multiverse thing or whatever. It's not even about that. In which this case you're making this argument too that you're wrong. And that's the thing, is like, in a lot of these cases, you're not going to argue with anybody and ever be right. You're not ever going to be the right person because, like, sure, this character's been this in a multiverse and this and that. You can come up with all this different stuff. There is no right or wrong. There is just what you prefer, what you like. Doesn't have anything to do with bigotry. Doesn't have anything to do with racism. But when you stick your foot in your mouth and you look like a dumb shit because you're saying all of these things, people really start to look at you and the things that you're saying and be like, how credible are you? Like, do you even, like you got part of the argument, but you don't have the rest. It's like you're purposely forgetting the rest of it. Like, there's a whole story, but if, again, this is something that everybody out there does, it seems like. Not everybody, but if it fits your narrative, that's what it is. And the thing is, like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. You don't have to sit there and psychoanalyze everybody like you're some sort of a fucking therapist anyway. Like you're fucking qualified. You know what? Something happened to me one time and I had to go see a therapist. And you know what? I know about therapy. I'm a therapist now. I've been through trauma. And I've gotten over it. I'm a professional. Like, just stop. It's okay. Just stop. Just stop. Your brain's not that big. Your brain's not that big. What you're talking about is very basic fucking ground level shit. And it reminds me of like this other thing too. It reminds me of this thing. Like I've seen I read this book last week. This is New Think. Right? I read this book last week called New Think. And this book, New Think, it's on AWA App Shop, one of my favorite publishers. It's by this writer, Greg Hurwitz. He actually did, what was the one he did? He did another one not too long ago on AWA App Shop as well about the hero. That was kind of like the Peter Parker Batman thing, and it was a pretty bad book. It was pretty bad. But then New Think came out, and I pull all the AWA ones because I like a lot of their books. I think I'm only missing like 2 issues out of everything that they've published in single issue format. But this one, like, even when I read the first issue, the second issue, the third issue, the fourth issue, the fifth issue here, is I read this, and it's again one of those kinds of things where somebody's like trying to tell this story where they're like big brain trying to point out like, oh, hey kids, look, you know what? If you just think you can be a better person, you can do better. If you'll just accept that, you know what? You can have your opinion and other people are entitled to have theirs, and you don't have to be assholes to each other. If you put down your phone and weren't as involved with that, you could lead a better life. You could be with your family more. You could go out and touch the grass. You could lead. And it's like, you get into a book like this and it's like, you're going into this story, doing this thing. You got this woman here, a children's story. She's going in and telling this story about how people don't have to discriminate against each other for skin color, or for anything like that, or for all their differences. People have different. People have different temperaments. People have different personalities. Did you guys know this? And all of these people, all of these different people and how they are, they're all different. They're all different people. They react to situations differently. And you know what? Just because you react to something differently than the person over there doesn't mean you can't get along with them. We can all be friends. We don't all have to be at each other's throats. You can get along. You can. And I read through this stuff and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, and that's the thing is, like, even reading through, I can't remember what that book was he did previous is, but every single issue of this is stuff like, who is this? Like, I know there's probably people out there who probably read this, who probably read shit like New Thinking, like, oh, this is mind-blowing stuff, man. Man, she's right. She's right. We can all get along. We can put aside our differences and talk to each other. We can put aside our differences and talk to each other and get along and be friends and make a better society for you and for me. We can get along. We can have peace. We can have peace. But what about you, adults? What about you? How do you feel? Can you do that? I'm telling you, I read through books like this and I'm like this is shit I thought, these are the kinds of, like, thoughts and things, like, when I was, like, fucking pre-teen. Like, this is, like, little kid shit. And people are out there acting like this is some, like, big brain fucking, like, no. Like, telling people that they're just human, that you can go across to your neighbor who you get along with and talk about politics, and they could have voted for whoever you didn't vote for, and you can have disagreements about things and still like each other and be friends. Wow. Really, really mind-blowing there. And I read this shit, I'm like, I feel like the people you're writing this for that need to hear this are the very fucking people who are going to read this book and praise it and be like, oh my God, this is so great. Like, everybody needs to read this. It's not that. It's not that. It's a very base level thought going on in this book that I'm sure some people are going to look at and be like, it's like I said, I read this book and I'm like, wow, you really feel like you're presenting something mind-blowing here, right? Like, you really feel that way. But it's not all that. It's not all that, Gregor. It's like, it's very, I don't know. But maybe that's just me. I guarantee you there are some people who probably could take something out of this and get the message out of this. And I can almost guarantee you that those same people are the very people that are praising this book. But that's just if you ask me. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. I see we've had some great people in here today. We've got some very good people. We've had Justin Simone, Aggressively Relaxing, Mike Sancho Porter. We've got Jedi Mike in the building as well. Had some very good people here interacting. I hope you're all having a very good day. I hope you go have a good day. I hope you get out there, do something good for your health. Go read some awesome comic books. Go watch a good movie. Go watch a good TV show. Go do something that makes you happy. But make sure you do get outside today. Go do something good for your health. Eat a good meal. Have a nice fat steak. Maybe some chicken. Maybe you need a chicken. I don't know. Make sure you always stay hydrated as well. You all have a good day. We'll see you all.